Hello, and welcome back to another LEGO Digital Designer speed building video. Today we are going to be building just a quick little Paris class frigate from the Halo series. Specifically, it showed up in Halo Reach and was featured pretty heavily in one of the missions in that game. I think it was the Long Night of Solace, where you just launch up into space and fight alongside it for a little while. And I really love the design of this ship. I think it's just all the little intricate details and weird things. It looks futuristic, obviously, but also very grounded in the sense that it's completely not aerodynamic. And that's something that will be shared by a lot of the eventual real larger spaceships in reality, just because space is space. There's no air, there's no reason for things to be aerodynamic. So they're going to end up with a lot of bits and bobs poking out, I guess a lot of the spaceship's probes, more really, that we have today. So yeah, this is right here is the little cargo section at the bottom that kind of juts out from the bottom of the ship. And this ship is really honestly just one big giant gun. In the Halo series, they have these, the UNSC, the humans, have their biggest, most powerful weapon really besides nukes is MAC round, or magnetic accelerated cannon. That basically just works like a railgun pretty much, just uses magnets to accelerate a projectile at super fast speeds, and in space it just keeps going at that same speed, except there's no air resistance or anything, so it can completely blast through most things. It's very powerful. So this ship is basically just built up completely around a single MAC cannon, or MAC, not MAC cannon. Cannon's already in the acronym. So yeah, that's why it has a lot of parts jutting out also, just because it's so built up around that single weapon and is designed to be pretty light otherwise. So yeah, I got the cargo section built. Now they have kind of wings on the side. I guess that mostly probably serve as protection, and they're kind of angled into, so I wanted to accomplish that here. And so I just did that bar coming out and connected it to that. And it's not the most stable solution, but on such a small model like this, it's really not a big deal. Everything's connected. It's just not something that I would really put if I was building this up more than I am. So yeah, and then I just did the top part. Now we're doing the bottom section that is structured a little bit differently. And try to get as accurate as possible. Like I've said before, I'm a major perfectionist. So this is about as close as I could get it. It's not completely. The wings are a little taller, I guess, than would really be accurate, but it's not a big deal at all. And I was having so much trouble finding a way to connect it, just while still allowing me to angle it, just because the typical 1x1 with a clip on top was just too thick to really allow for the inward angle. So I ended up using, I think it's from Ninjago, one of the leg pieces that goes on the skeletons, and just connecting it with that, because the connector kind of juts out a little bit. There's plenty of room. So I was really happy when I found that, because otherwise this would not have worked at all. And I think it works really well. So there we go, just mirroring it, and getting a little bit of detail down in the connectors of the wings, and just gonna add some engines now. It was difficult to find a ton of really good, I guess, photos of the back section, but I think I got as accurate as possible, really. The wings have a little engine coming out of them, and then there's the big main one. Actually, no, it's just the engines on the wing and the connector. There's no main engine directly in the center of it, so there's just these two little groups on the sides. I'm just trying to get them in line with the wings as much as I can. while also still having 2 of them, so it's a little cramped, but it works out. Yeah, like I said, I really love Halo ship design in general, and Halo Reach specifically. I thought a lot of people weren't huge fans, but at least the visual, like, art direction, I thought was really fantastic and worked really well with the story the game was telling. It was very, like, gritty and a hopeless story, so the art direction kind of reflected that, which I thought was really cool and worked really well with instilling that kind of, like, hopeless sense as you were playing it. Here's the little bridge. I'm just trying to add, there's a little, like, antenna on top and a radar dish that I'm trying to see if I can add in there without making it too huge. Yeah, I want to say I ended up just using a microphone, a little microphone piece for minifigures, just because it was the only way. Like you're seeing, I'm trying a few different methods, but they're all kind of just a little too bulky for me, or just a little too flimsy. So I tried a few different things, but the microphone just, I think, works the best and is the most accurate, even though it's not technically like a dish on the end, it's a ball, but it doesn't matter. And here's the little hanger section that attaches to the sides. And sorry, I did lose a little bit of footage right there, but not too much. So I just attached the hanger section, added the turrets on the top and the bottom. Now I'm just trying to add the little section below that and just make sure everything lines up right with this, like, tiny model, because it's hard to get everything in there correctly and make sure it's all still attached and everything. But yeah, and I tried to, it's not really evident yet because I haven't covered everything, but those little 1x1 tiles on the side will end up representing each individual hanger section, or I guess door, not section. Yeah, I'm just trying really hard to fit all of that in here with as little gaps as possible, while still keeping it all connected, as stable as I can. And there's just that tiny gap right there that's bugging the crap out of me. And I'm pretty sure this is how I ended up fixing it, yeah. It worked out really well. And yeah, so now I'm just getting started, because the middle of the ship is the Mac cannon, and then, or I guess the Mac. And then it has, like, arms coming out, both the top and the bottom. I would assume that they contribute somehow to the cannon's firing method. Yeah, so I'm just adding the bottom one right now, making sure that it is in line with everything and still allows me to get that little section down there that I was trying to get. And yeah, that little, I think, gold ingot piece kind of suggests the curve that I was trying to go for, since I couldn't fit a cheese slope right there while still having it connected. So that works well enough in the end. Yeah, now we're getting started on the top and trying to connect that arm to it. Well, again, still, it's just the hardest part right here is, since stud's not on top with the middle section, with how it's kind of sideways, and I'm using the studs on the side bricks to attach everything. It's hard to find, there's just, like, not, just because the studs are so spaced out, it's hard to really connect everything together in an elegant way, well, without any gaps, especially in these tight quarters. So I'm really just doing the best I can, not only make sure everything's connected in a stable sense, but also that there's no gaps that are really noticeable. So I had to bring the bridge up a stud just to somewhere under there to fix a gap, and that was it. Yeah, no, so just getting these all lined up correctly, and making sure the space between them is accurate, and adding the little bits on the end. And now we're going to start coloring it. So yeah, those are the little hangers on the side with the blue. And I wanted to get, because it's mostly a gray ship, but the little detailing it has is in mostly black and white accents. So I wanted to make sure that I could get those colored accurately, and replaced a few little sections with some white bricks. Yeah, just coloring everything that has enough contrast and it looks okay while still being accurate. And we just about done coloring it. Yeah, I think I had to rework this little section right here to get the colors I wanted. And I wanted to make sure again it was still stable. Yeah, it was this little side stripe. So I had to use a 1x1 with studs on either side and some little 1x1 Technic bricks to attach to the side to keep that all stable with it. Yeah, just trying a few different things, and there's the final render. Just with the background from Halo Reach, and here's the turnaround, just to show you all the sides. Yeah, there you have it. Feel free to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I hope you look forward to my future videos. Have a good one.